Hello everyone, this is Lolly. Welcome back. It is time for my project for November's Kraft-tex Color of the Month, which is this beautiful orange color. I have designed this super cute fox, turned him into a bookmark, and I am going to give you a tutorial and a free download to make your own bookmark. Let's get started. So I am going to use this color of Kraft-tex, which is the color of the month for the Kraft-tex ambassadors, and it is called Tangerine Tango. I'm also going to use the stone color, the black, and the white, just little pieces to supplement and make the shapes. So what I've done was I printed out the free download I'm giving you. Now you don't have to use this if you just want to cut a piece of Kraft-tex, which I have done. And that is about 1 5/8 by 7 1/4 or whatever size you want. And I have rounded the bottoms here. So then I took this, which is called Tack It Over and Over, and I spread it over the other pieces here and just let it air dry. And it gets really tacky and it makes it easier to use it as a pattern because it'll stick to the Kraft-tex better. Now for the eyes, I will most likely just use a hole punch instead of, instead of using the pattern because it's just easier when you're doing a really small circle. So what I want to do is to take this. So the first piece I have is his actual face. I am putting that on there, and keep in mind that this is just a tacky glue. It is not a really good good adherence. So you're going to want to get some clamps to hold that so it doesn't move on you while you are cutting. And I get asked a lot about these. I got these from the dollar store. Now, a couple of hints on this. You want to make sure, you want to make sure that your scissors are pretty much straight up and down perpendicular. I tend to lean out, and I need to be careful to do this and not turn in and out. It'll give me a nice cut. And you also want to try and move the project instead of moving the scissors. I think it gives you a better cut. And even though I have clips, I use the Tack It Over and Over because it just helps my pattern to not slide while I'm doing this. Next, on the white, you just need a little piece of this cut aside. So this pattern is a free download, but if you want the SVG for it, I will give you a link to that. The SVG is also in my shop. Okay, we've got those two. Now I need the little ear pieces here. And those are what I'm going to do with the stone color of Kraft-tex. The little pieces are definitely harder to cut out with patterns, just heads up there. It's also helpful if you press the Kraft-tex before you get started. Okay, and I already said I'm going to use just a hole punch for his eyes. Let's see, this one's probably a little too big. Let's see if this will be about the right size. I think so. Maybe it's too small, but his eyes are pretty little. Let's see. And I need his little nose. Okay. Now we are going to use the Fabri-Tac to adhere all this. I have my base. I am going to center his head on there. And you could use whatever color you want for the, I'll tell you, I'll do it this way. Now, I had contemplated cutting all this out of one piece, and I decided against it because I like that this is kind of puffed up or poked up from the project. Now, to see where to put my glue here, basically I'm looking at his chin, and I want to make sure I at least cover his chin, and I'm coming down a little bit right here. So I'm not going to cover all of this. Okay, now these are actually a little different, these two earpieces, so I'm making sure I have them where I want them. And in case you're wondering, tack it over and over does not leave any residue on the Kraft-tex when I pull the pattern off. And you'll see that this sticks up a little bit. Now, what I was thinking is that the chin could come down over the page if I wanted it to. Now, I want to get this nose on there. Very cute. And the other thing you could do is to draw the eyes on if you don't like your little pieces there. Now, these are so small of eyes. I have to think about this. Whether I like them this small. I like the size. Yeah, I do. I really do like this better. And I think I'm just going to use paper glue because it also works with Kraft-tex. Now, if you are not familiar with Kraft-tex, it is a washable, sewable paper. It's like infused, and it does not tear, and so it is very good for super durable projects. So this bookmark, you can get it wet, and it is very durable. How cute is that? Now, the other thing is we could always write on it. You can write on it and say, "To my foxy friend." You can stamp on it. You can also emboss it. You can, with the embossing folders. You can also heat emboss on it. You can put your HTV, your heat transfer vinyl, on it. There are so many things you can do with this. It is machine washable. This material is, but once we have glued all these pieces on, I would be hesitant to put it in the washing machine because I would be, and I know that Kraft-tex, Fabri-Tac is also not washable, but I would still put this in something if I were to put it in the washing machine. This is all pre-washed here. This white is also, all of these colors here are pre-washed. So that is my project. Look at the links down below, and I think you are going to love Kraft-tex.